Hi guys, hope you're all well. You're gonna have to excuse me. I've got a bit of a croaky throat. Unfortunately, after I've exerted myself for a few days at my grandson's, I have to rest a little bit due to my illness. Most of you know about that. And I seem to have come down with a croaky throat as well. So, apologies before I start. Okay. Cernit Pearl. I can't tell you, I have been dying to play with this. And I've only ordered, I haven't ordered the other colours, guys, because they didn't appeal to me. Just the black and the white. Isn't that a shocker? Just the black and the white appealed to me. So we're just going to do something really simple with these today. I think what I might do is just do a really simple, just do a skinner blend maybe. And make a little domed pendant with it. Maybe put a bit of a drizzle on or a bit of a pattern on or something. But I just want to keep it simple just so I can see, you know, how it buffs up and the such. So I'll go and condition a bit now. I know that this is uber fresh, so I might have to leach it a little bit. But I'll go and condition it up and we will just do something really simple with it, just so we can see what it's like. And what I'm going to do is bake a little chip of the metallic pearl as well, just so we can compare them. You know, if you can only get hold of one, you know, I'm assuming if you can get hold of any Cernit, you'll be able to get hold of the pearl now, guys. And I know some of you struggle a little bit to get hold of Cernit. But as I've said before, Pearls & Co. in Europe ship all over the world. Really good company. And I do believe that Cernit are spreading out a little bit now. So, you know, you never know. It could be coming to a store near you. I suppose it's much like me with Primo. I have to buy it online. I can't go into a shop and buy Primo. I can only get Fimo. But anyway, I'll shut up. I'll go and condition some of this and I'll see you in a sec. Hi guys. Okay, we're conditioned. A couple of things I've noticed. I'm covered in sparkle. Don't know if you can make that out on my fingers. And initially, out of the packet, the black comes off on your fingers. Once it's been conditioned, it's fine. So I'm going to just assume that's a little bit of settling or something. Right, I'm going to do a skinner blend with this, so I am going to make it reasonably neat and reasonably the same sized piece. Oh, just so we get a consistent blend, guys. And I'm not really going to do a triangle. I'm just going to, I think what I'll do is I'll just do a teensy bit of an angle on these. That way, Kath, so that they cross over a little bit when they're blending. I don't want a huge big blend all the way across, if that makes sense. So if I do this now, what am I doing? Yeah, that's right. So if I do this now, I just get a nice blend between them. Where my lap is. We all have our different ways of doing things, guys. I just do it this way. You do. Again, I say this a lot, but you do what you do. I'm just doing that, then I don't end up with a big lump when I pass it through. Right, I'll go and blend this now, guys. So we just get a subtle shift between the two. I still want to have some black and some white. I think I've showed you this before, but you can put some magnets or a pack of clay by your roller and it'll stop it expanding too much. I'll go and do this blend. I'll see you in a sec. Okay guys, now as you can see, I've got more of a gradient than a blend. That's what I wanted to do. Can you see now? So I haven't got a harsh line, it just starts off dark and colour shifts to light. So I'm going to pop it this way. Going to give it a good burnish. Let me just move these pieces out of the way, then I don't get them mixed up. Oh, and sod's law, I haven't got any paper cut for burnishing. I'll be back in a sec guys, I'll just go and get myself some paper cut. Okay guys, I've got my paper, found my burnisher which I couldn't find the other day. Just give this a nice burnish. Again, said this before guys, but the more you burnish, the better the surface. The better the surface, the less sanding you need to do. Let's think, which cutter shall I use? Decisions. Shall I use my new diamond? I think I will. Okay, so I really don't want to be wasteful, but to get a good gradient from the black to the white, I'm going to have to, don't worry guys, what I'm going to do with the scraps is I thought we'd marble them together, just make a little cab out of it. So I think I'll do this. Or should I do it on an angle? Yeah, I'll do it on an angle, then it's at least wasteful, isn't it? Bring that down a bit, do it on an angle like so, and I'm just going to trim this excess off, pop that to one side. We'll just do like a little puffy pendant with it guys. I'll just trim this excess off and hopefully we can use it with something else, or use it to make our background. In fact, I'll just get those bits together, and I'll go and use this. I'll just go and condition this. Sorry guys, I'm just not with it today, am I? I'll just go and condition this, and we've got a background ready for this. Okay, won't be a sec. Okay, use them scraps, made a background on a 0 setting on a texture sheet. Right, let's get this picked up. And as always, I'm just going to line it up, turn it over, just get rid of that bit of scrap. Oh, done it again. I just like to make sure that it's pressed down a little bit before I start into the cutter, and I'd forgotten that bit guys, and my hands are a bit sticky. Let me just pop that down a sec. Get some magic mix. I've told you before I like to use this. It stops the clay sticking to my fingers, and it also gives me a bit of lubrication for moving my finger around. Can you see now? It's so much easier, isn't it? I'm not having it sticking to my finger, and I can get that dome going now. I've got that pressed into the cutter. And of course, again, up to you how deep you want a dome. Okay, that's the black coming off. Isn't it weird? It'd be interesting actually, maybe do the Makume Bokeh or Anna with this, with the translucent. just to see what different effects we'd get, because the mica particles are bigger, I would say, on this. Okay guys, I think that's enough. I'm just trying to wipe my hand off screen to get rid of that stuff. Let's take this backing off, pop it down. Get this lined up and cut. I just give it a little wiggle. There we go. One lovely puffy pendant. I'll just separate my scraps. And what a lovely shape that is in a diamond. Okay guys, clean my blade. Let's get this picked up and onto some paper. I'm not going to mess with it too much. I'll worry about the crumbs later. I don't want to distort my puff. Is that even a phrase? Distort my puff. I'm just running my nail round, guys, just to clean those little crumbs a little bit, and just to make sure that that edge is smooth. I can see just a little crack there. Okay, so that's ready for baking. I shall pop that to one side. I think that is going to look amazing when it's shined up, do you? Right, we'll pop that to one side. Now, what I thought we would do with some of these scraps is, let's see, I'm just going to break them up into black and white, or dark and light, or whatever you want to call it. And in no particular way, I'm just going to put some sausages together. That's kind of the grey that we had from mixing. We just get these sausages together without any air in the middle. So I've got a bit of grey, a bit of the black, pure black. I've got a bit of black, white and grey. Again, I'm just rolling it into a quick sausage, guys, just so I can pop it together. And we'll use some scraps of the pure white. Just let me clean my hands up because I've got black on them. And I'm going to pop them together. Right, we're just going to squidge them together now and make another sausage. And then we're just going to twist. Push it back together. I'm sure I've done this in a video for a quick marbling technique. Maybe I haven't. But yeah, you just put some bits together, roll and twist. And then I do it again. Make sure you're twisting the same way each time. And then roll and twist. Oh! And I might pop this into a mould actually, guys, when I've done it. And then I just turn it into a block. Doesn't have to be a block, but I find it's easier to work with if I do that. And of course get the block kind of the size of the shape of the mould you're going to be using. Let me just dig them all. Well, in fact, I've put them all one over here. I keep forgetting I've tidied up, guys, so I've moved a few things around. So my moulds are now by the side of me, if I can find them, that is. I don't know what I've done with my blue ones. The back's not there. Right, I'll just cut this, then you can see. Then I'll go and grab a mould. So I'm just going to slice that through, and we've got this nice marbled effect. I'm going to obviously let's put them two together. I've only done this, guys, just to use the scraps, no other reason. I just wanted to play with the pieces. Let me just push that back together, see if I can get rid of that seam a bit more. I'm just going to drag my nail across that seam to blend it. There we go. My friend Vanessa mentioned the other day that these are quite good for using as the square purrs. You know, I've got the blocks by Tiny Pandora, the acrylic ones, and my friend was saying that the 6mm ones of these are pretty tough, so they're really good for manipulating your clay. Give Vanessa a little mention there, she's a lovely lady. There we go. So we've just got that bit of marble in there, and I'm just going to wipe that over because the black has smudged a little bit from smudging it with my fingernail. Okay, let's find something. I'll go and find something to do with this. Yeah, I'll go and find something, guys. See you in a minute. Okay, guys, totally forgot that I'd bought this. It's the cabochon maker that goes with this Sculpey one. So let's use the scraps up on this. So I need to put a couple of pieces of this in here. Should we do a circle and a triangle maybe? Let's see. Let's just cut enough off for the circle first. I'm just going to pop the pretty side down, you know, the side that I want, and then fold the rest in for that. Same with the triangle. Let's put the pretty side in and then fold. And give that a roll. Oh, give that a roll. Make sure it's in. Get that excess cut off. Just run my finger. Look at how much mica comes off this. It's absolutely loaded with mica. Let's make sure that's pushed up in. I think I'll bake this in the mould, guys, just to keep my shape well. Just pop them to one side, and then using these scraps of black we'll make our cabs up. What did I use? The triangle and the circle, didn't I? So let's just get these. In fact, let's make a sausage first. I've only had a little play with these. I've not filmed anything with them. I'm worried that they might be a bit thick for my liking, the border, but then I thought I could sand it back with my Dremel, which would only take a moment to do, wouldn't it? So I could maybe round the edges off, you know, make it finer or thinner. Okay, so that's in there. Let's get this one pushed in there. I'm only doing this, guys, just so that I know that it's absolutely packed in to that little shape that runs around. I don't know if any of you guys have used this. Let me know. maybe tag me somewhere. Be interesting to see what other people have done with it, to be honest. It was just I'd had a refund from Amazon for something that hadn't turned up, so I decided to buy this to have a play with it. Right, let's fill these gaps now. I will say, guys, considering this is literally hot off the you know, it is literally just been made, this brand, this clay, I was expecting it to be rather more sticky than it actually is. It's a little bit sticky, don't get me wrong, because it is super fresh, but it's not as sticky as I thought it was going to be. Okay, let's get rid of them scraps. Clean those edges up a bit. Got a bit of a divot there, we shan't worry about it. Oh. Just clean my roller and give it a final roll over, just to make sure that back's lovely and smooth. I don't know what it is, but when you roll it, it's almost as if it wakes the mica up. It's really weird. Okay, I'm just going to go around the edge and wipe that excess mica off, although I do wash these. Okay guys, so we've got a couple of things made with the scraps. I've got my lovely cushion pendant. I shall go and get them baked up and I'll see you when they're done. See you in a minute. Hi guys, these are at the oven. I just wanted to show you the finish before I buff them, because I really love the satin, is that the right word? Satin finish without buffing. You just get a totally different look. So there's my little puffy pendant. Again, no dimple in the back, guys, go figure. Sometimes I get one, sometimes I don't. I know we've had this conversation previously. So yeah, there's the puffy pendant. And what I did with these is I part baked them, popped them out, put a little bit of liquid clay in, put them in the mould that came, you know, that we made with that, and then finished baking them. So that's them. I've got a bit of cat fluff stuck there. So that's just those two that I made with the scraps, and these are, I'll just bring them all up. This is Cernit metallic. That's the, if I put them both together and then turn it into the light, I don't know if you're going to make them out, but the pearl is super sheeny, and the metallic obviously is metallic, but the particles are bigger. And this was just a bit of scrap that I put through the pasta machine and then pushed a texture stamp into. So as you can see, I've got a bit of a mica shift going on. I'm assuming that this is going to show up more once they've been buffed. So all I've done with these guys is go around the edges, make sure there's no burrs, and I just give it a light sanding with my sander shiner nail file, and I'm now going to go and buff them with my Dremel. So I'll see you when we're back. Okay guys, I've just given these a quick buff. This stuff just comes to life when it's been buffed. stunning stuff. So there's the little puff pendant. Now all I've done with these is polish the inside. I haven't polished the outside, so we've got a bit of a difference with the texture. Again, I think if I was to use these, I would possibly take that sharp edge off, or make it a bit thinner. But for quick pendants, you know, they work alright, don't they? I'll just show you the backs and the sides if you haven't seen that little mould. But yeah, they're just fabulous little twinkle, isn't it? There's the triangle one. And here's the chips. Now you can see the metallic better on the metallic when they're buffed. So if I just pop them there and then move them in the light, you should be able to pick up the difference in them. Again, the metallic is beautiful, and I think it will stay one of my favourite clays, but the pearl, it's just got that larger bit of mica in it, so you get a different effect, don't you? And I'll just show you the little bit of black that I did the mini mica shift on, and it is only a tiny bit, that, guys. It does mica shift really well. Oh, there's a good, can you see it now? It does mica shift really well. Be interesting to play with that a bit more, I think. So there you go, guys, just some little bits while I was playing with the Cernit pearl. I hope you got something from that. If you can try this stuff, try it, it's beautiful. And I shall see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.